Alright, Jones, thanks for going and coming to my site. I'm glad that you're going to be able to use this. I know you were trying to go and consider using the income approach for seeing if you wanted to refinance your house. So, let's start and begin. It's a pretty simple thing to do. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do it using Excel spreadsheets. Income approach for refinancing. And start out, I'll just show you a simple thing, spell check. I'm not sure how much you know about Excel, but it's a real nice handy tool. And I have another document over here with some pertinent information that I'm just going to go ahead and copy and paste on over. And I'll delete the numbers, but it's really going to be loan information. And I'm going to add to this original loan information. Now the loan to value ratio is simply the value of the house under in the denominator, and in the numerator you're going to have the loan. So if you put 80% of the value, then 80% is provided, and from the information you gave me you actually did, so 80%. And you can format that if you'd want. Just go over to click on it, then you choose the percentage format, but it's already actually formatted for me. And then the loan amount would be the purchase price. I'm going to do original loan, or I'm going to go ahead and just put the purchase price right here. Purchase price of house. You know what? We'll close that out. And I'm going to go ahead and insert shift cells down. We'll cancel that. Instead, we're just going to cancel. Forget it. Not a big deal. I'm just going to go ahead, get rid of this. And now I'll insert the cell. Insert. You gotta make sure you get it in the right area. Some of the hardest parts. Here we go. And then of course there's a matter of the whole formatting. No fill. And showing you some simple formatting stuff. Getting rid of the bottom border. Alright, beautiful. And then changing the font to black. And putting the alignment over. Learning all sorts of different stuff in Excel, right? And again, making sure that's black. Get rid of the bolding. Make this yellow, and Beautiful. Purchase price of $265,000. I'm going to keep that bolded because that's a fairly important number. But I do want it to be black. Here we are. And loan amount is simply the purchase price times the loan to value ratio. Now, I keep in mind there are all sorts of different things that you went ahead and spent on your loan. In the original cost, it was this percentage and that percentage that you had to do the origination fee and the fees for appraisal and this and that and the other thing. Honestly, that really doesn't matter here, because regardless of if you choose to rent or you choose to own, it will still be the same. In this case, your original percentage was 7%, and the loan term was 30 years with 12 payments per year. So again, those fees really don't matter, because regardless of if you choose to refinance or not, those still will matter. Those still will have taken place. So when you're looking at whether you should refinance or not, it's all about what will the change be? What will happen if you refinance versus if you don't refinance? So anything else doesn't really matter, is not important or pertinent. So next step, gonna go ahead and do refinance loan information, and then there's going to be loan balance, and then originate, as well as a discount point and the fees, appraisal, etc. Just all other fees included. And that amount came out to be, from what you told me, 22,000 times 1.1 times 10% increase. The discount point was 0.1. The origination fee 0.1. And you said they had to be made at the purchase price, at the time of purchase. So just adding a thick box border, refinanced loan information. Now, you've had your loan for 4 years now, and I'm going to figure out the current loan balance. It's a simple enough calculation. And go ahead and turn these into percentages. Personally, I like having it showed a couple decimal places. It just makes it easier to understand exactly what's being done. And I'm also going to make that yellow. And the current loan balance I can actually figure out by a simple calculation. But rather than work on the current loan balance, which could be a lot of calculation, I'm going to go ahead and just start with this cash flows for the original loan information. So if you decide to not do anything, you decide to keep doing what you're doing, this is how your cash flows work. So cash flow for original loan. And you're going to have year 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to put a note 0 equals now 4 years from the start of the loan. So, year. And I have this other document over here, which I use to reference. Don't need to pay any attention to it really, but it tells me a little bit of what I want to know. So the next step is basically what is the initial payment at 0 or year 4 of the loan. Well, you've finished making that payment for that year. You're trying to figure out, do I want to refinance now at year 4 end after I've made all these payments? What do I want to do? So your initial output is just simply going to be 0. And I'm going to go ahead and put a underline. You know what? I'm going to actually do a bottom border. And center. Excellent. So these all be dollars. And if anything, you can actually drag out and bring that a little bit further. Some cool stuff, neat stuff. But this is basically a payment formula. Payment, your rate, go to the top, 7% divided by your number of payments per year, your number of periods, 30 times 12, referencing all these cells, and the present value, 212,000, and voila. And I'm just going to go ahead and make these absolute. You can do FN, F4, FN, F4, FN, F4, FN, F4, FN, F4, and then I'm going to drag it over. And the reason I can do that is because that payment stays the same throughout the entire life of the loan, so it's really not a big deal. I'm going to auto size and auto adjust those. I actually need to make this full screen and then redrag that. And in all truth, that was a terrible move on my part, because that payment should be multiplied times the number of payments per year so that I get that full amount. And again, absolute reference. Drag that over. And now, once again, drag this. Beautiful. Okay. I'll go ahead and drag, resize that. Alright. Cash flow for original loan.